welcome to the I Ching Cafe and our first full weekly overview for the week commencing the 7th of August, 2023. Last week, we had mostly an August week as we worked with the idea of revolution, throwing over the old, embracing the new, creating a revolution in our lives, shedding that snake skin, and willingly letting go of the things that are no longer good for us, that are done, that are closed and complete, because we are moving on and moving forward. Plus, we had the interesting energy of grace, bringing beauty and embellishment to the things that are already of value by making them look great, presenting them in new ways, and overcoming our urge to stick to just substance and not worrying about the form of that substance. Right, so what happened for you last week? Where was the big change, the change of the tiger and the panther that I spoke about, and of course the embellishment of the sun rising on the mountain, bringing beauty? Where did you work with this idea of bringing beauty and change, radical change, into your life, into your business? Please do share some comments. I love reading your comments. Okay, let's look at this full week. Right, our first hexagram for this week is Hexagram 61, Centered Truth. This hexagram is all about being who you really are. Okay, so if we look at our structure, you'll see there's a little hole in the center, right? There's a little opening, and that is the heart, right? The heart of the hexagram in the center, a heart that is open and sincere and willing to hear the truth, no matter what the truth might be. This is a hexagram where we are being asked, our development process that is coming to us is all about lining up the person that we are on the inside with the person we are on the outside. Look, we all wear masks, okay? It's part of our self-preservation mechanism. As we move throughout groups, we are in tune with what other people think and how they respond to us and how we respond to them. And so we naturally try and protect ourselves, even when it's not necessary, and we put up masks, we put up an external visage, okay, to try and present this acceptable form on the outside when how we feel on the inside is different. This hexagram is about lining those things up, how we feel on the inside and how we feel on the outside, how we look, how we are working through the world. There's alignment, okay? We are not one person inside and another person in the outer world. We are congruent. We are lined up. Okay, people have a sense of trust because the person they see is the person they know. Okay, so we are dealing with that, but we're also dealing with coming to grips with truth. A heart open and centered in truth. Okay, opened and connected with the beauty of truth, even if it hurts. Okay, so sometimes when this hexagram comes up for me, I've experienced this where you have an insight in that time period in the week, whatever, that's just suddenly there's like a hot knife through butter. It just lands and you see things in a new way, right? Open yourself up to that. It might not be your experience. It might be something else. But for me, I often get this with this hexagram is that something I need to see and I need to understand, okay, comes in. And so if we are working proactively with this hexagram, what we're doing is we are opening the heart. And we are a heart open and at peace and welcoming and being open to truth. Because what that does, that insight that comes to free us, comes to liberate us. In a way, touching on this idea of revolution from last week, right? It comes to, give us an insight to see things clearly that really helps us connect meaningfully with something, okay? I had this experience where I really needed to hear something, and I had a random coffee with a friend, and something that they said just went whoosh. They had no idea that their words had that effect on me. It wasn't them, right? Their words triggered the insight that I needed to hear. And some big life changes came as a result of that insight. It wasn't the other person telling me what to do. They had no idea that they were just talking and the insight came. That's the kind of experience I've had with this hexagram. So this week, we keep ourselves open to truth. We keep ourselves open to the heart, and we connect ourselves to the heart. This is a week where we get out of analysis paralysis and out of the head. And I'm not saying that, being in the mind is a problem. Being only in the heart is a problem too. What this week is asking us to do is to just focus on being open and being in the heart, the higher heart, not emotional, okay, but in love and in prosperity and in peace, being open and hearing and being receptive and being connected, internally and externally. Quite an interesting concept for us to work with, particularly in how it might appear in your business. Is there a need to really hear what your team is saying? Is to really hear what your client is saying? To really hear them without all the defenses and the excuses and the yes buts, okay? What do we really need to hear this week? What is the truth we really need to connect with? And how do we work with that information? So, 2 changing lines this week in the first and the fourth position. In the first position, okay, here this truth has come in, all right? Here we are being asked to not get caught up in other people's noise, okay? In rushing after making other people happy. This changing line says the way that we connect to the heart of the situation, the way that we honor this idea of centered truth is to go within, okay, calm down, go within, go into your inside space and just be present with yourself for a moment. Remember, this is only a couple of days that this changing line is with us. So go within, be present, and detach from all the noise around. Detach from the urge to make people happy, to do what other people want us to do, to engage and solve other people's problems and solve issues that are not ours. No. Okay. So the way we work with this hexagram and we honor it is to go within and find stillness, calmness, and truth inside. Okay. Just regroup. Detach from all the noise and go within. Okay. And the answer comes. The connection comes by doing that, not by putting more energy dissipated into more people, into more problems, and stretching out. Just draw your energy back for a moment and go with it. Won't last forever. And in the fourth position, we didn't have this changing line 3, which we've always had so many times the last few months. Here we are in changing line 4. We've crossed the chasm. We're just over the hump, and there's movement, right? There's movement and there's connection and there's flow. But the symbol or the picture created by this changing line is you're a horse running for home. You know where to go. You know what to do. You know where your focus is, right? And you're running. Now, if you suddenly realize you've got a team horse, you're running side by side next to another horse, what you can do is you can get into pack mentality, right? And keep on checking on the horse next to you. What are they doing? Do they agree with me? Do they think I'm doing the right thing? Where are they going? What's happening? And what we can do is we can, in that pack horse mentality, start following in parallel where that horse is going. No. This changing line says the truth that you know where you're going, you know what you're trying to achieve. You don't need validation from anybody else. You don't need to check in with anyone else. For this week, there's something important that we are needing to switch on and lean into and go for, but we need to do it on our own terms. We need to follow the impulse that we feel strongly about, the truth that's calling to us, the thing that's sitting in that heart, that beautiful open heart in the center of the hexagram. And we are having to be willing, and we must be willing to go it alone. We can't check on this horse running next to us to say, are you with me? Do you think it's a good idea? Where are you going? I don't know. The moment we do that, we lose the energy of this hexagram. We lose the opportunity to connect and to make progress because we are engaging with the other in our journey. In a way, both changing lines talk about validating ourselves against others or getting too caught up in what others think and what others are doing. Stay focused on what your heart, remember this beautiful heart in the center of the hexagram, what this heart is calling you to do, this beautiful faceted gem that's you, that's going on your own mission. This week, there are particular things you are needing to tackle that require you to be committed and to go for it. Where do these lead? Where do these individual changing lines and hexagram 61 centered truth lead? They lead us into some conflict. Hexagram 6. Oh my word. You know, because we've been through this a few times. This is the 4th time we've had this hexagram in the last month or so, and we hadn't had it until this point in 4 years of the channel. And here we are, boom, boom, boom. So we are definitely working through conflict, learning how to de-escalate conflict. This hexagram is all about quarrels, disagreements, not seeing eye to eye. Okay. What we have to learn how to do is to calm the situation down and mediate new solutions through. It doesn't mean just accepting what the other person is saying to avoid the argument. Okay, we have to also be true to our integrity, speak our mind, speak our truth, clearly articulate where we're coming from, but to do it in a way where we don't escalate the conflict. Is being calm, adult, factual, okay, being in that energy without getting into the drama. And sometimes, there are conflicts in families and relationships and work situations with clients that we need to work through. We can get through this if we approach it in a non-violent, non-confrontational approach, being willing to be heard, okay, to state your case factually, but also just recognizing that going into it hard and fighting and going in for a fight is not going to get a good outcome for you or the other. De-escalation through the heart. Perhaps we find ways of de-escalating the conflict because we are coming from this beautiful heart. We're coming from the crystal clear understanding of who we are and what we stand for, being truthful, being factual, approaching the situation centered in our truth, centered in fact, coming to the table and finding ways to de-escalate the conflict. You can do it. Thank you so much. I wish you a wonderful week as we get stuck into August. If you have not yet done so, do remember to go and watch the monthly overview for August, where we talk about the turning point that has arisen and our opportunity as we emerge out the cave as bears that have been hibernating through the long dark night, finally can get moving and lumbering into the new beginning. Thank you so much. Please like and share if you found this interesting, valuable in your life. And of course, please join us by subscribing or following on the podcast if you enjoy podcasts as much as I do. And of course, I look forward to seeing you soon at our next weekly episode.